Okay, so we're kind of doing a little bit of a recap of the first part of Ladybug. I need you guys to have your monitors turned off, and I need you guys to kind of take notes. If somebody could switch these lights off and turn just one of the back row on, that would probably be good. There you go. All right. Okay, so as I mentioned, the Ladybug application is actually not an application, but a plug-in to a plug-in. So Grasshopper is a plug-in, and Ladybug is a plug-in that goes inside of Grasshopper. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to load Grasshopper, and when we load Grasshopper, we're going to click on the Ladybug tab up here at the top. Okay? So you can see where that's at? And as I mentioned to you before, so this is kind of a recap, these first 5 buttons that are here, okay, are the first things that you guys need to learn to be able to use and do. All right, the very first one is the Ladybug app. So you drop that thing onto your screen and you wait. And eventually Ladybug shows up. And there it is. Zzz, right? A little bit, as they say, let the Ladybug fly. What I want you guys to be aware of is that and I mentioned this to you last time, if you press Control-Alt to find out where one of the components is, it's not going to show up, okay? So you've kind of got to make good notes about where things are located, okay? So we put the Ladybug one down here. Now, these next 4 items that are here are very important. And I'm going to, as I did the other day, I'm going to pull them out one at a time, and I'm going to drop them onto the canvas kind of in the same configuration that they currently are placed in the toolbar. Okay, so right here we have the 1, and there's the 1, and then we've got these 4, and here are these 4. Okay, one of the things you got to understand is that the functional part is here. All that these 3 do are allow you to connect an EPW file in one form or another to the main import component. Okay, so I told you guys that I'm going to move the Ladybug over a little bit. This first one allows you to link up to a site where you can download weather files, or you can get a link to the weather file. So that required that you install a Boolean toggle, connect it up, double click to turn it on, and that will open a dialog box. All right, and that dialog box will eventually take you to a site that's got a map where you can click and download the various. You can either download the files, or you can get a link to the file. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on the United States. And this site does definitely run slow. I guess they don't like Mexico. Okay, at any rate, this basically allows you to kind of zero in on an area, and you can click or you can hover over top of one of these things, and it'll kind of give you if you right click it, it will give you a link to where it's located. Okay, so I'm going to press Control Copy. All right, and then go ahead and close this. So click OK, and I'm going to bring that over to the other side over there. All right, so now that's all that this function does. This function takes you outside of Rhino Grasshopper, takes you to Internet Explorer, and it links you up to that site. Okay, that's all that that component does. So now we have a weather URL, a URL for that weather file. So now let's take a look at this particular component right here. This component right here, which I'm going to kind of pan over a little bit with, requires that you drop a panel in. All right, And inside that panel, you're going to paste the address you just found. Remember not to hit enter. All right, and once you do that, that component becomes active. See how it turned gray? So that is one way to connect to a weather file. Now, here is the upside to that weather file. Chances are, as long as that site is active, you can get that weather data no matter where you go. Here's the downside. Say you're working on a computer and you don't have an internet connection. Now, when you open Ladybug and you try to go to your Ladybug file, right, or not Ladybug, to the Grasshopper file that contains Ladybug, since you don't have an internet connection, it can't see that weather file. Okay? So right now, if I take this, it might take my primary file, and I'm going to make this larger so that we can see all of it. Okay? If I take the EPW file and I connect it to my import EPW, you'll see that it turns gray and is now functional. Okay? So that is one of the ways that you can do it. A different way to do that is going to be to, again, put a Boolean toggle and connect it. I'm going to turn it off so that when I connect it, it doesn't do something. I'm going to connect it up to this, which says open weather file. And when it says open, it means open on your local computer. Okay? And so right now, if I wanted to, I can go down here to the C drive, and I can scroll around and look for Climate Consultant 6.0, and okay, look at that. There's all the EPW files. Okay? So I can click on an EPW file and then click open, and you'll notice that that turned gray. It's no longer orange. Okay? So if I take that EPW file and I connect it up right here, it'll disconnect the other one. This one is on my local computer. This one is connected to an internet file. So say you were working in an office and you were going to send a definition to somebody that wasn't really astute with this. I would probably pick this one, right? Because as soon as they open it up, it's going to automatically go to that website location. You as students, if you're working on something and you're working on a laptop, you may not have the access to the internet everywhere that you're at. You might want to use this one as a method. Okay? All right, so I'm going to stop the video right there because I think that's kind of a recap of what we did last week. The important thing to note, so this is important, I'm going to put this in the recording. Part of your midterm is going to be being able to go onto the internet and find a specific EPW file and then load it and use it. Okay? So you can't just have this stuff in your notes, you have to know how to do it. Okay?